Hello, everyone. Welcome to my wood turning shop. I'm Cindy Drozda, and it's great to see y'all here. I was just looking, and I see that Keith was just in Boulder for Stuart Batty's class. So, yeah, the altitude. I'm glad you're recovering well. Fun stuff, though, right? Um, and Scott Hampton is here, and a bunch of my friends are here, and I just love this. John Lane up there in the frozen north. Well, we hope it's not frozen right now. Uh, oh, yes. Dick is in Plano, Texas. Great to see you here, Dick. And and Paul from on the other side of the big lake. Uh, Michael McEwen. Michael, let me look. You are you get the award for today for being the first one to make a comment. So thank you for being here. And thank you all for being here. Chuck, you were an early one getting in here too. And Gary is here and Dennis from New Orleans. Dennis comes to our sharing sessions. Derek, New Mexico. Oh, it's great. Ah, yes, Michael's going to be there. Good. He was one of the first to sign up for that too. Yeah, so I just love it. Richard from Oakland and Paul from Texas. Anyway, great to have all of you here. And I am from Erie, Colorado. This is what my shop looks like today. It's summer. I love it. The weather is hot, but that's fine. And the door is open, so you probably hear the birds chirping outside. And my friend Carter, he's not dead. He's just on the grass where it's cool, and it was a hot day. So, yeah. So what am I gonna do today? Uh, I've got a plan here, and the first thing I want to do is true up this. It's going to be a jam chuck, and I meant to do that before we started. So I've got a jam chuck piece on the lathe right now, and you can see lurking in the background this here, which is a piece that was done by Emma Cook. I'll get it out so you can see the whole thing here. And Todd Rains. And it was while Emma was here for the AAW, and she was in my shop because she came to Rocky Mountain to do some demos. So I got her over here. And on our sharing session, we had a little collaboration between me and Todd and Emma. And mostly Todd and Emma were working. Todd made a lid for this piece. And, well, here, if we can find him, is Todd. There he is. Thank you,
Hey,
Todd.
Cindy. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, so this is Todd made the lid for the piece here with a little opal inlay, and
Yeah, a
I'm
little
putting some
big
finish
leaf,
on it.
big leaf maple left over. So
Is it? Yeah, look at that curl in there. Excellent stuff. Yeah, so Todd did the lid, and Emma did the decoration on the piece there. And here is our friend Emma here. Emma, the tiny Turner. It was great to have her here. And so anyway, so now I have done the another fitting of the lid, mainly because you see, Todd was in Texas and Emma was in Colorado, and they were trying to make a lidded piece, and just oh, what size is it? And she makes the opening, and it wasn't a perfect fit, so I made the fit a little better. And now I want to do the other side because Emma only did the one side. So what we're going to do here is use this as a jam chuck and jam chuck on the lid recess. And that's not a whole lot of grip power, but we're going to see how it goes. And the other thing is, I'm going to use what I call a vacuum assist. I'm going to use my vacuum, and there's a hole in the jam chuck block. So there should be, if I turn the pump on, there should be a little bit of vacuum to kind of hold it on to the jam chuck. So let's start making our jam chuck by, okay, realign things here. There we are. So I'm going to caliper, and I guess I need to zoom out a bit too. Caliper the opening in the piece. How's our focus? Focus? Okay. And I'm measuring where the lid goes. And this caliper, I don't have to lock it. It's a kind of an automatic lock. So I will now scribe on the face of the waste block, scribing with the point close to me and not touching the other point to the wood, but trying to get a mark that if I did touch both points to the wood, they would both be in that little mark I just made. So that ought to get me pretty close. Another thing I could do here is when I start turning this, I could, I'm just going to make a little tenon, and you can see I've got the mark on there. The other thing I can do is drop the caliper over the spinning piece, and I don't know if this is too big for these calipers. That should get me in there. We're not quite to the line. Let's go closer. Okay, and we'll check and see how well it fits. Oh, it's too loose, is it? Or are we? The thing that's going on here that's making this difficult for me is there are two steps in it. And one is further down in there. I need to make my tenon longer for one thing. And we'll just check it here. Yeah, so it's going in too loose in that first little step. And it's not fitting yet in the one that I want to jam fit on. Also, I forgot that with those two steps, we've kind of got a deeper clearance needed there. All right, now we're starting to, didn't fall out. That means I'm almost there, but it's not on all the way. It's just barely starting to grip where I want the fit to be. So, and you'll also notice here that I made a slight taper to that tenon, and that was just to kind of hedge my bets a little bit so that I don't screw up. While I'm turning here, if you have a question, please feel free to ask in the comments. Tommy isn't hearing me yet. Hopefully everybody else can hear me. Oh, and yes, Scott, you know, Emma is also a purple girl, just like me. And when she was here, she's looking around my shop, and you know, that cabinet is purple, and the tools are purple, and the dustpan is purple, and the broom handle is purple. And she said, I have even out-purpled the purple girl. Okay, now I have a jam fit. It's a little looser than I wish, and it's not quite going on all the way because I don't see any space back here. So let's turn on the vacuum and see what we get. I'm not sure what we're going to get, and I can't show you the vacuum gauge. All right, so we got about 8 inches of mercury vacuum. How hard is it to pull it off? Oh, this is actually fairly confidence inspiring here. I'm trying to pull on it, not trying to pull real hard, but oh, yes. And there we are. So the vacuum is good. It's the jam fit is good. The vacuum just makes it a little bit more secure, right? Vacuum assist. What kind of vacuum pump? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to give you good information there because I've had it for about 20 years and I bought it from a guy who probably doesn't sell them anymore. But if your question was, where can I get a vacuum pump? I don't think the Frugal vacuum pump is doing them anymore, but he would have been my first choice. Anybody has an idea of where to get vacuum pumps, post it in the chat and let everybody know. Okay, the one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. Well, us purple people might want to be on the lookout for that problem. All right. So we've got our jam chuck and we've got the tailstock, so I may as well use it. I'm always a big fan of using the tailstock whenever I can. Oh, and tell me, can you hear my vacuum pump? Or is it okay? Old John? That's an old song? I guess so. Okay. Yes, I'm old. All right, so the vacuum pump is on, and it's a bit annoying. So really what I'm going to do is only turn it on when I take away the tailstock, because as long as the tailstock is up and I've got a jam fit, I've got a pretty good setup anyway. So what are we going to do here on the bottom of this piece? That's the question. I'm going to start just taking away some wood, and my plan kind of is that here's the lid and it's kind of an OG shape. So I'm thinking, and the lid goes on the top over here. I'm thinking we make an OG shape here, the reverse of it. So that's what I'm thinking. And oh, and I'm glad to hear that you're not hearing my pump. That's great. So noise cancellation is working. All right, so this is a pretty big piece of wood, so I'm not going to start with the lathe going full speed. And you can see what speed I'm going up there in the left corner. So I'm gradually upping the speed, and it all feels and looks really good. And so this is good. I may as well crank it all the way up if I feel okay about it. And I'm going to just start removing some wood here and thinning out the edge. The cut I'm making here, and I want a little bit of face protection. The cut I'm making here, I am cutting into the side grain, face grain. When I cut this way. If I cut this way, I'm cutting into end grain and side grain around the piece because the grain goes this way. Grain goes this way. And I'm always going to get my best cut when I'm cutting directly into the face grain. When I cut this way, 2 places on the circle, it's right into the end grain. And 2 places on the circle, it's cutting the face grain or side grain, whichever you call it. So that's why I'm cutting this way. I'm also having a look. I know you probably can't see it, but I'm looking at this surface to see what Emma did that I might have to look out for wall thickness wise. So here's a good question. Can a person turn at 800 to 1000 RPM, or is that too slow? Take it further. Can a person turn at 200 RPM? Used to be somebody out there in wood turning who said everything in wood turning can be done at 200 RPM. You don't need all that speed. It's safer. The thing about it is, though, that when the lathe is turning slower, let's just say as I'm turning the lathe really slow, the wood isn't cutting very fast on the tool. So in order to cut with the molecules of wood hitting the tool at a feed rate that will give me a nice cut, I have to slow down my feed rate a lot. And me as a human, I have a harder time slowing down, and that would be like, okay, this is 2300 RPM, and I can push the tool in at this kind of rate of speed, and the wood is cutting real nicely. If I were to slow the lathe down, let's try that 800 RPM. Okay, close enough. At 800 RPM now, in order for the wood to cut with the same feel, I'm pushing the tool much more slowly into the piece. Let's go even further and get all the way down to a couple of hundred RPM, and we'll see how that feels. Now, it's just really hard for me to slow my brain down enough to match my feed rate. And I'm really not even slowing it down enough, because that's probably more like it. So it would take me all day to get any work done. Oh, but further comment, good point, Mike. If you're relying just on your vacuum chuck, you might want to use a lower speed, because maybe your consequences of it flying off are way worse, and you'd rather it wasn't spinning as fast. Stuart Batty used to always say, at below, I think it's 900 RPM, the trajectory of the spinning piece is down to the floor. At over 900 RPM, the trajectory of the wood is up to your face. So, or maybe up to the wall. But, so good point, Mike. If you're relying on just your vacuum chuck, no jam chuck, no tailstock, then you might choose a different speed, not because of the cutting, but because of other kinds of safety. So let's get a little more of this wood removed, and I don't have the patience for 800 RPM. Sorry, guys. That's why I have my tailstock up, and I'm actually planning with this piece that the only place I'm going to work on it after the tailstock comes away is right down there by the tailstock. I'm going to do everything except for the last maybe inch of diameter with the tailstock up. And I'm also going to tape it on, even though I have vacuum. So, yeah, why not? It's not scaring me. The lathe's not bouncing around. The more speed I have, the easier the cuts. All right. So, let's proceed. And I'm going to do a kind of a OG curve here. Now, I feel like this cut would give me, I would have lots more control if I were to move the tool rest this way and cut the wrong way for the wood, because I can make the shape happen easier and more control with this push cut than I could with that draw cut there. But it's bouncing more, especially when we get over around here. I'm cutting against the wood fibers big time here, and I'm likely to find tear out. So let's see what we got for a finish on here. Well, it actually looks good. Zoom in a bit so you can see the up close detail. Yeah, it looks good. Even where, like right on this side, here, I was cutting directly into end grain, and it looks great. Actually, it looks better than the cut I was getting, rough cutting with the pull cut. So, okay, so sometimes you just do the cut that works, even if it's not the cut you're supposed to do. So, okay, here we are now with this piece, and I'm at a point of what do I do with the shape? And here we can see the profile of it here. This is kind of the profile I'm intending. Now the question is, do I make an elevated foot? This is just a chuck tenon, but an elevated foot, maybe a longer one even than what we've got here? Or do I continue this shape into a curve and just have a flat bottom on the piece where the OG curve comes all the way to the tailstock? And I want you guys to vote on it. So here's something I found out. I can use that giveaway feature, which we are also going to do later, and do a poll for you to vote on whether we put a foot on this piece or not. So here's what you do. If you want to see an elevated foot, kind of like something like this, then you're going to type in yes foot. And here we go with let's see what we can do here. What? It's not working. There we go. No foot, or yes foot. Hashtag no foot or hashtag yes foot. No space. You can capitalize or lowercase, but you got to have. So Dave, very good. Where was it? Charlie, no space, please. And remember the hashtag. So no foot or yes foot. And we're going to just, since I can't really do a poll per se, what I'm going to do is see, you can see on there now for no foot, we have entries 12, and for yes foot, we have entries 14. So we'll give it a few minutes. Type your no foot or your yes foot in there. And yeah, it can either be like this, or it can be like this, or it can be like this. No, that one. Yeah, so, and then we'll get back to this in a minute. Let's see, where am I? Oh, here and here, and get rid of that. Oh, musical buttons. Okay. Very good. So I'm creating my shape. Oh, and now's a good time, I guess, to talk about upcoming events and things and stuff. So let's do that. I've got some stuff coming up in the wood turning world. There it is on my end. Anyway, so tomorrow is a big day for me. I'm doing this gilded sea urchin box class. This is one of my long all-day sessions where I'm going to show you how to make this gilded sea urchin box. And let me show you just right quick here what it's going to be like. Here's the box and lid with a little jewel inside. The box is an insert into the shell so that the sea urchin, which is gilded with chameleon flakes, is not actually a part of the structure. It's just surrounding the structure. The foot is attached to the bowl with a little dowel. And here's what the structure of my box looks like. So yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to be talking about making this box with a sea urchin and how to prepare a sea urchin shell to work on it with the opening the size I want, a nice transition to the wooden parts, and some fun with gilding. Lots of fun with gilding, and maybe even a little bit of iridescent paint. Right. So that is tomorrow, and you can sign up here on my website, cindydrozda.com, and I believe I can actually put that in the comments as well. Right? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So tomorrow, hope to see you there. It'll be fun. And I'm also going to be giving away a couple of tickets to this event tomorrow. So stand by for that. Now, what else have we got here? Todd does sessions like this every other Friday as well. And here is Todd again, right? Isn't it working? Come on, come on, come on. I'm not sure why the scene isn't working. So I guess I will. Oh, Todd's gone. That's why. Todd has left the scene. So anyway, Todd Raines, my good friend, is going to be co-hosting tomorrow. So you'll see him there. And he's kind of the brains behind everything that happens in my IRDs. And so next Friday you can find him at this same time. And Emma, our collaborator, Todd and I also do sharing sessions on Zoom every few times a year. And the next one is September 12th. It's a Zoom meeting. And if you subscribe to my list, which is here on the QR code, or it is here in the comments, or if you subscribe to Todd's, and here is his, you'll get the Zoom link by email. So hopefully you'll sign up for that, and we'll expect to see you. I do these sessions every 2 weeks, so you can find me 2 weeks from today, same bat time, same bat channel. And I don't know what I'll be doing, probably still working on this same piece because it's going to take a little while. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to be at SWAT, and so is Todd, and so are a couple of thousand of our closest friends. It's the greatest fun in wood turning. I'll have tools for sale. Todd will be doing a demo. We're going to have lots of fun. Shelly will be there. Oh, that's worth going just to hang out with Shelly. And Yeah, and then a couple weeks after that, we have the Rocky Mountain Symposium in September, and I will be doing one. I got talked into it, in-person demo. So just what I've been trying not to have to do. I got to load my whole shop up and go in and do a demo. But all woman lineup. So how could I say no? In October, if you want to learn hands-on with me, if you've ever thought it might be much better to have me looking over your shoulder and directing you and helping out with things and working one-on-one sometimes and in a group, the learning is tremendous. And this is the only place I teach in person anymore is at Stuart Batty's in Boulder, like Keith just got done with a class there. So yeah, so I hope to see all of you at some of these things coming up here. And meanwhile, let's find out how our poll is doing. I'll get me in my proper place here. So yes foot has 35 and no foot has 27. All right. Y'all have decided for me. We're going to do a foot. Very good. Very good. And I'm happy about that because I kind of had a vision that this would look nice with a foot. So signing up for the sea urchin doesn't appear to be working. You should be able to go to my website. Let's do that here, and here. So this button right here that says Gilded Sea Urchin Box Sign Up, that's the place to click on my website. So I put some QR codes and I put some links in the comments, and one of them was to subscribe, and that's if you click this button here, it takes you to this sign up page. That I know that's not for the Gilded Sea Urchin. That's for getting a notification of the sharing session or next 2 weeks from now's tool talk. It's the Gilded Sea Urchin box sign up that you need to click for that. So yeah, try that one and see if it works. It should work. If it doesn't work, I guess that would explain why I'm not getting people sign up. Well, there are lots of people signed up. So yeah, hopefully that'll work. All right, so what is next for us here? I got all these buttons to push and focus this and focus that. It's a dance for sure. Yes. So yes, John is signed up. I know that, and Michael McEwen is signed up. So yeah, it's been working, but if you find something that doesn't work, please do send me an email and I'll try to fix it. I am my own webmaster, which means I am my own worst enemy. Well, so we've got a little time here, and I wanted to do a bit of more turning, and then we're going to give away a couple tickets to the thing tomorrow. So here we are going to do, I'm going to stick with the cut that's working because it's easy for me to do. And I'm also going to now plan for a foot. And the question always with a foot on the bottom of something is, how big should it be? And my favorite rule of thumb, if you will, is half to a third of the diameter of the piece if it's going to be functional at all. And this one, I'm thinking, I'm not sure if this is really a functional piece. So the size foot that the size of this tenon is not bad. So let's just stick with that for now. And I'm going to do some more cuts here. If I can use the draw cut, because it's a little bit friendlier of a cut as far as wood grain goes. And then, of course, there's what shape is that foot going to be anyway? Let's go, well, actually, I think I can just do that. Yes. There. Okay. I'm not going to make the wall really super thin here at the rim. So another thing I can do with this wrong cut to make it work a little better is take a light cut and feed really slowly. And I may find that a negative rake scraper helps clean it up. Let's see how the finish is looking now. Let's see how it's looking over here. See all that glossy, shiny? Yeah, it's looking great. There's a tiny bit of sort of tear out, but less tear out than I would get on the draw cut. And notice this here. There's a little chip out on the foot. So I'm going to have to accommodate. And how might I accommodate? I can make the foot longer and take some off the bottom of here. I could make the foot smaller. That would do it also. Let's get over here. So maybe I'll make, I don't really want the foot smaller. So I guess I'm going to have to take some off, which means then I'm going to take off here quite a bit more. And then we will go back over here and, okay, so I can make this rim a little smaller. Now it's starting to shatter. So if I want to work on this rim, I better get all my work done out at the rim first before I start getting any thinner down a ways. So this is going to be it for the rim. And I'm feeding fairly slowly. I'm doing a good push cut here. And are you noticing that my tool rest hand is not my tool rest hand? I mean, my front hand, you couldn't see it too well. Let's zoom out a bit. My tool rest hand is not touching the tool rest. All the driving of this cut is coming from my back hand on the end of the handle. So what shape of foot do I want anyway? What shape of foot do I want? What would go well with this, I'm wondering. Maybe just a kind of a sloping straight foot with a little chamfer on the edge. Let's get up close and see. Yeah, I'm liking that. So we'll go with that. To get right in here, the bowl gouge wing is going to hit. Oh, let's take a break here and see if we got any questions. So yes, I could have patched it up, but I didn't want to do that. And I could have rounded it over, and that's a good kind of foot. That's actually the kind of foot I use on my hollow vessels very often. But I guess I wasn't thinking it would look as good with this, all the angularity in this piece. I don't know. Make decisions. Hey, Michael from Slovakia. I keep trying to remember. You're the farthest European of anyone here, I believe. Why not make 3 feet carved feet to avoid the chip out? Now, there's another design possibility is to make not just a solid base, but to make feet that were carved out, and that would look great. Absolutely. Any other questions here? I don't think so. We got quite a good little mess going. So what I was going to say is trying to get in there next to the foot. I can't do it with that bowl gouge, so I'm going to use my spindle gouge. The spindle gouge, just because of the swept back wings, will get right in here and continue this line all the way up. And I could also get my double bevel negative rake scraper and get, now this usually does a really nice job. And this right here where I'm cutting is face grain. So that should give me a really good surface. Let's check it out. Check it out here. So that's right in here. It's not quite as shiny as that push cut, but it's pretty good, and it doesn't show tear out, and it's going to refine the shape right up into where that foot is. And now I'm going to go on the edge of the foot and do a little cleanup here to get right into that corner. So KK's got an idea, a shape that would reflect the contour of the lid or the inner rim of the bowl. Now, how might I do that? What kind of shape would look good there? Approximate the final thickness. Oh, approximate the final thickness of the rim. Oh, it's kind of what I have here almost. I hadn't thought of that, but good point. I should have maybe left the rim a little thicker to have a little taller foot. So yeah, good point. And yeah, I guessed Slovakia correctly. I admit, I'm one of those Americans who doesn't have a good grasp of geography. I'm trying to learn always. All right, so here we have a negative rake just because it's extremely hard to cut with a gouge right into that inside corner. And then we'll put a little chamfer on the corner and work on, let's see, what else do I want to work on? This curve here. While I'm here, I think I could do a better job of it with a little double bevel scraper cleanup here. Just to clean up some of the ridges I created with my not so great technique with the gouge. And that tool won't get in right up next to the corner like this one will. And I think I nicked this surface a second ago, so we'll do a little cleanup there. And then I'm going to do the bottom up to the tailstock with my small bowl gouge. Small bowl gouge. This is the wrong cut here again, but it's the cut that gives me the easiest access, so I'm doing it anyway. And, for the purists in cutting, in grain direction, orientation, and all that, here's what I'm finding. If I hold the tool so that let's get the bigger one because it's easier to see the edge. So that the cutting edge, that's the wing right there, right about the corner of the tip, is at a 45-degree angle to the rotation of the lathe. I am slicing away these side grain fibers just as if I had a roughing gouge. It's only when I start cutting into this end grain here that I start finding, and look at how, awkward that is, because it's cutting into end grain, side grain, end grain, side grain. But when I'm just cutting on this face grain surface, that wrong cut works fine. So now I got to clean up that mess I just made. I started it with the flute clothes because at the entry that made me more confident. And now I'm getting right up to the tailstock, and I could clean it up just a touch with my negative rakes if I want to. But actually now is my moment for the vacuum chuck. Why do we think Richard Raffin so often uses a spindle gouge on bowls and platters? A 1-inch spindle gouge. To each his own. Many, many tools will do the same job. He has learned how to use the tools he uses, and he's very, very good with them. None better. I probably had different tools in my hand 40 years ago than he did. So, I've learned some different things. But I have noticed Richard Raffin uses a spindle gouge more than a lot of people do. He uses it on bowls and stuff where most people would not want to do that. Why not? It's an edge. If you present the edge to the wood in the right way, you get the edge, the cut that you wanted. So I see here that we have Todd back in the studio. So let's see if Todd would like to say hello. And let's see where you are. How about
There
that?
we are.
There
Hello,
we are.
I'm back. Sorry, I had to dump a little bit, just leave, but back now. Had someone at the door.
Yeah,
sorry.
so
Go ahead.
Todd will be at SWAT.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, that's only a couple of weeks away, so I'm looking forward to that, as always. So it should be a lot of fun. It happens that couple of weeks, I think. 21 days away.
Okay, 3 weeks.
I guess it's 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It so happens that Friday is my live stream day, so I don't know what's going to happen. I'll try and get live from SWAT on that Friday, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I think we should go live from SWAT.
Yeah, I think we should. I just don't know I can promise right exactly at 1 o'clock.
Right, probably not. That's the thing, guys. So if you're wanting to see us, it'll be us, and I think Joe Fleming will be there, and Lyle will be there, or OB will be there for sure.
Well, Lyle's demonstrating this year, so he'll be there.
Oh, he'll be there, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so lots of our friends will be there, and I like to walk around the trade show and talk to everybody with my iPad and my monopod and all that stuff. So we'll be doing some live streams, but it probably won't be at 1 o'clock because that's usually hot trade show time, and Todd's got a job to do. So
we all do, yeah. So, but it should be fun. Should be good.
And also, we're doing a sharing session
shortly after
on the 12th. Yep.
Yeah. Those are fun. So
that's Rocky Mountain.
2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, and what's that? 10 your time? No, 11 your time.
It's noon. The sharing session starts at noon for me. Starts at 1 for you. Starts at 2 for the East Coasters. And
Get
it's
my times all mixed up. Yeah.
Well, 1800 is UTC, and so the UK is on it'd be 1900 there, I believe. 7 o'clock p.m.
Yeah, that should be fun as usual. Hopefully we got lots of shares and lots of stuff to look at. So
yeah, fun stuff. All right. Well, thanks, Todd. I
bet.
saw that you were back in there, and I just wanted to
Sorry about dropping out on you, but glad to be back.
Oh, that's okay. This is, after all, it's not your show today. It's supposed to be mine. In next week, Todd will be here for sure. At least we hope so. But don't ask him what he's going to do until a few minutes before start time. Well, I'm exaggerating, but Todd is famous for being able to come up with a subject and on the spur of the moment. Me? No, I'm a plan ahead type person. Okay, so we got any comments in here? Yes, Richard is also very fond of scrapers. So here you have it. Scrapers have always kind of had a bad rap, like real woodturners don't use scrapers, but it doesn't get much more real than Richard. So yeah, the tool that does the job is the tool that's the best one. And as Ronald so well pointed that out, exactly. People use the tools they're most comfortable with, and you can get the job done in lots of different ways. Oh, it's a cheaper tool. The spindle gouge is cheaper than the bowl gouge. Well, I never really thought that, but yeah. So maybe if one tool is cheaper than the other or lasts longer, and he starts out with it and it just gets used to it, and 40 years later, 50 years later, I don't know, how many years has Richard been turning? 60 years? He's been turning longer than I can even imagine. He was an old timer when I started, and I started turning it in the early 80s. So yeah, Richard's been out there a long time. Okay, we got any work to do here? Yes, we got some work to do here. What we're going to do is take away the tailstock. And that means I'm going to put the vacuum on before I actually take the tailstock away. And I'm going to put some tape around it because I feel like even though I've got vacuum, what if there was a power outage or who knows what, my vacuum pump just suddenly sucked in a big piece of dust and crapped out. So I want to put some tape on. I'd like to actually, before I do that, soften this edge, because not only do I not particularly like hard edges like this, but, oh, and actually, you know what? I'm looking here and I'm thinking that the edge detail, it might be kind of hard for you to see it here, but on the edge, on the front side, Emma has put a little bead of leather cord. So I think what's going to look best on the rim is to sort of duplicate that here and then round over this corner, kind of like her cord, but then we will deburr, and that one's already deburred. So this is the edge detail I'm liking. Oh, and here's another thing. Richard uses an 80 grit wheel to sharpen. He's not the only one who does that, but it is kind of a more of an old school way to do things. And maybe it's, if you asked him, maybe he would say that it's because of something to do with the cost of the wheels. I don't know. Anyway, so I am going to do tape. And I'm mostly counting on the tape as a backup, not really expecting the tape to be holding it on. I'm more expecting the tape just to be keeping it from flying across the room. If I get a problem. If I wanted the tape to be doing more of a clamping job, what I would do now is I would take nylon filament strapping tape and wrap that around over the top of the masking tape. Oh, and by the way, but I need to have this sanded already before I take the tailstock away and tape it on. So visualize sanding. Pretend I did it. What I'm going to do actually in reality is I'm going to, after everybody else is gone, I'm going to put this back on the vacuum chuck, seeing as it's a jam chuck, and do all the sanding. And I'll probably put up a rubber tailstock just to make myself feel better. This is not gaffer tape. This is just masking tape. Gaffer tape, well, it's expensive and it's got lots of stickum. I don't know if I haven't actually used gaffer tape for this sort of thing. What I use is this nylon filament tape. And I put it over the top of the masking tape because nylon filament tape can imprint into the wood and make marks on it. And masking tape doesn't, but masking tape stretches and tears easily, and strapping tape doesn't, either of those. Oh, okay. Oh, and thank you very much, Ronald, for that compliment. Yeah, delicate touch, and also working with the wood is something we need to do. Oh, rubber bands rather than tape. No, I have not, but that's a great idea. Another thing about keeping something on is stretch wrap, stretch film. And you can use that. It stretches though, but you can use that to keep something on. And actually stretch wrap with strapping tape over it is another good choice. So we're ready to get rid of our tailstock, and we're going to turn on the pump. So pump is on, tape is on, tailstock is out of there. And I'm going to be kind of delicate about things, and I'm going to wear my face shield. And we're just about done with this piece. Actually, yeah, let's just looked at the time, and I'm almost done with the turning for today. But what I wanted to mention is that we're going to do a giveaway. So what you do for the giveaway is enter hashtag urchin box in the comments, just like you did for that poll about the foot. And I'm going to have another, let me see if I've got it together, another poll window open. So we've got one entry so far. Maybe that was me or Todd. Okay, people are starting to enter. Very good, very good. Yeah, so while I'm doing this last bit of turning, get your entries in. Again, no spaces, doesn't matter about capitalization. Don't forget the hashtag, and don't put your name in there, just the hashtag urchin box. It's kind of funky, this. Okay, that might be better. All right, so because I have just the vacuum, oh, we got to turn our pump back on, don't we? Okay, pump is on. We got about 12 inches of vacuum here. And I'm going to up the speed gradually. And I may not, oh, Mike said only 800 RPM. Okay, I'm going to take that advice. And I'm just going to go with 800 RPM here. And I'm being very delicate with the cuts. Let's go over here. And maybe here. I'm cutting the side grain, the face grain here, which is going to be the least stressful cut. I'm also cutting with a motion that pushes the piece firmly against the jam chuck, as opposed to cutting this way, which is putting my force sideways and might be actually trying to pull it off the jam chuck. We'll smooth things out with the negative rake. and a little bit or a lot of sanding, and we're done. I'd like to do a little detail on here too. Just a couple of marks. Now, 800 RPM, I'm feeding really slowly. Normally, this marking with the pyramid tool goes really fast because normally I've got a lot more speed than this. Instinct, blow the chips off. Doesn't work with the face shield on. Okay. I think we got something good here. And I'm going to turn off the pump. It won't fall off for two reasons. One is tape and the other is jam chuck. So we'll take off all of our tape. And it came off the jam chuck fairly easily. But while I had the tailstock off, I had good success. I'm really happy with that vacuum assisted jam chuck. So now the other thing about doing it that way is if you've used vacuum, you know that it's a fiddly screwing around, getting it to line up the way you want it, true and all that on the vacuum chuck. And then if you try to take it off and put it back on again, oh, it's a nightmare getting it lined up again. But with a jam chuck, I can now take it off, check my wall thickness, whatever I want to do, put it back on, and it registers true again. So that's why I like jam chucks, and that's why I like vacuum assisted ones, because that allows me to have the best of both worlds. All right, so a little more on finishing next time. I think that's what I will do on my next session, is talk about the finishing of this and what I did, how I did, and all that. So here it is. Here it is. The Emma, Todd, Cindy collaboration. And I believe we are ready to do a draw. How is that going? I got a bunch of comments. Merchant boxes, not too many. A little bit lower attendance than usual, which means your chances of winning are better. So that's good. Here we are here, and there's me the way I want to be. So you got 66 entries. You can still enter. And after I do the draw for 2 tickets, if we have more questions, I see there are a few more questions. So we'll get to those. I want to draw these 2 winners. So we're going to do 2 drawings, and you'll win a ticket to tomorrow's Gilded Sea Urchin box presentation, which is a live 3+ hour class on how to make that box. And I will put the box up a little bit later. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. There's number 1. So our first winner is Richard Dietrich. Congratulations, Richard. Congratulations. Now we're going to do another draw. And because we want to do another draw, I'm going to off the banner there. And we're going to draw again. So get your entries in. You got 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. And there we will be. Yay, John Hengel. Congratulations, John and Richard. Congratulations. I will be sending you an email with the login, the Zoom link momentarily, as soon as I'm done here. All right. Hey, Mary Alice is here. Good to see you here. Yay. All right, let me get back situated here where we all belong. And I've got my jewelry on today. A couple of questions here. Oh, I like this. ETC, Emma, Todd, Cindy. That's cool. What are we going to do with it? I saw somebody asked, were we going to raffle it or auction it? Auction it, Steve said. We're not sure yet, but the preliminary stuff, and I think maybe Todd was kind of in on this too, is we're thinking about auction it for charity at Vendor Showcase.
Yeah, I think that's a great venue to do that.
Yeah.
So it'll raise money for charity, which is always a plus. So.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll raise money for charity however it happens to go,
Yeah.
Whether it be that or some other way, and
Yeah.
we need to talk about it. So.
Yeah, if you got ideas, sure, let's
sorry, click.
No, it's all right.
Click finger.
It's okay. Yeah, if there's any other ideas to raise money with it, then that'd be great too.
Yeah, put them in the comments there if you have some idea what you think might be good. Donate to the AAW is also a possibility. So, yeah, all right. So let's get to some questions here. And Worth says, what about the feet? It's not plural, it's singular, and we got it. And what it is it's a foot. It's a foot, not feet. When you say feet, I guess some people thought that meant I was going to carve them. But I call the elevated thing on the bottom of a holoform or a bowl a foot. You can call it something else too. Yeah. So, what is the wood block attached for the vacuum? Attached to for the vacuum chuck? It's on a faceplate. So what I have here is the faceplate is on the spindle, screwed to a block of wood. And when I screwed it, I put silicone, just like RTV automotive silicone, between the faceplate and the wood. And really what I needed to do was coat the wood with shellac or something everywhere that it's not touching the platter. And I did notice that when the platter was on, I got more vacuum than when I just put my finger over the hole, because all these end grains are air's coming through them. So that's what it is. Do I use any kind of seal between the faceplate and the jam block? Yes, I use silicone, but you can put just a seal that's easier to remove too. Okay, what else have we got here? Questions, comments. Yeah, so Mary Alice, if you do email, send me an email. And I want to hear what's on your mind. Best large bowl gouge. I'm probably not the one to talk about large. I'm small and I do small things. But as far as bowl gouge goes, I think the 10V steel that Doug Thompson, Stuart Batty, and Ashley Harwood use is the best stuff to make a bowl gouge out of, because it holds an edge the longest. And I use Thompson tools. So yeah. Oh yes, great idea, John. If you want lack of success with your vacuum chucks, use red oak. Oh, and have the end grain, have the grain parallel to the bed of the lathe too. Right. You're talking about CERF. I forget what it stands for. CERF. Yeah. That's a good charity to consider too. Thanks, Cindy. Definitely. And Steve is going to start at $100. Well, don't give us $100 yet, Steve. We'll wait and see how it goes. And I love the auctions too. Yeah. So look for Vendor Showcase. We have a date planned, don't we? Todd, did we already decide on something? It's in October.
Yeah.
November.
October, I think. Let me see. What did we? November. Yes, November 15th.
November 15th. So that's our plan. And if you haven't been to Vendor Showcase, You will love coming. It's a great time. It's like a sharing session on steroids, and all of us are demonstrating, and we've got usually tool specials and that sort of thing.
Yep.
So how do you find out about Vendor Showcase? Well, the best way is to subscribe to me, Todd, Lyle, Joe Fleming, Steve Worcester. Is that all we got now? Cindy, Todd, Lyle, Joe, Steve. Right. We missed John Jordan, and I still keep thinking there's another guy involved, and that was him. Are we going to take it to SWAT? Yes, we'll have it at SWAT. Could you cast leftover resin for jam chucks? Well, my first inclination is to say, why not? Try it. My second inclination is to realize that when you make a jam chuck, we're not talking vacuum chuck now, jam chucks. They work best when there's a little bit of fiber compressibility in both parts. Like the wood I'm jamming on there is a little bit soft and it compresses. The wood I'm jamming it on too is a little bit soft and it compresses. Grain runs parallel to the bed of the lathe, so the compressibility of my jam chuck is symmetrical all the way around it. That's why I don't use face grain, side grain for jam chucks, unless I have to. So it might be that resin makes a great seal as far as a vacuum chuck goes, but it might not be that great for a jam chuck. For vacuum assist, yeah. Well, so there's the thing is if you're not relying on it for fully a jam chuck, you could make it just fit as good as you can and then turn your vacuum pump on, and the resin would absolutely seal better than wood with its open grain. Vacuum is measured in two ways, depending where in the world you are. My end of the world, we measure inches of mercury vacuum. And it's on my gauge as a number. Oh, there's also a kPa measurement for vacuum that must be the metric equivalent of inches of mercury vacuum. So, well, so is this it for questions? Oh, Todd wants to know grind on the bowl gouge. I use a 40-40 grind on my bowl gouges most of the time, unless it doesn't work. So 40-degree angle of bevel, 40-degree angle of sweep. Stuart Batty kind of popularized that, and he's got lots of stuff out on it. I also have a YouTube video or 2 or 3 showing how I sharpen my 40-40 grind. So I think we are a wrap for today. Kilo Pascal, yeah, could be. Yeah, there's a Pascal thing and that's what John says too. Yeah, so anyway, I may learn that someday, but meanwhile, I'm sticking with my gauge, which measures, I just go by the number on the gauge. I could even be blind or not be able to read, and I go, oh, is the gauge over here? Or is it over here? Yeah. Okay, folks, it is time to say goodbye. Thanks for being here, everyone, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Actually, I'll see you hopefully tomorrow at my live thing, and you can find that by going here and signing up. And again, it is, where is it? A Gilded Sea Urchin box. So I hope to see you there. Bye for now.